Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight.
But those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern Podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it is the Master of the Course.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
And this time we're talking Red Lanterns 5 through 8 and Stormwatch number 9. That's right, kids. 1 to 52.
New 52. New 52.
The 50th of the twos. Yes. Well, but with a guest appearance in one of these issues by a certain Green Lantern.
That's true. That's very true.
Will have an impact on the Red Lanterns going forward. All right. So, I know you did bring up. Before I get to Civil Corps, did you see we finally got a confirmed Hal Jordan also?
Yes, they confirmed that too. So yeah. we have Hal Jordan and John Stewart cast for the Lanterns. Yep.
So what do you think, Hal Jordan super fan? What do you think of that?
Well,
Kyle Chandler.
I know they're going for an older Hal, who's the thing that concerns me about an older Hal is we don't get either a rebirth, a Twilight, an Emerald Twilight, a rebirth, a Sinestro Corps War, or a Blackest Night, because that's going to take a lot to set up, right? So I don't know if it means that that's not coming, or maybe it'll come in a different form, But I think, they're both really great actors, so I'm still hopeful that it's going to be good. We've talked about this before. When I think Green Lantern, I don't think cops solving, crimes on Earth. I want there to be a bit more cosmic scope to it. But again, we'll see.
Yeah, again, it could be cosmic, but just like, this problem just happens to be on Earth.
On Earth, yeah.
And again, budget.
Well, yeah, budget. I'm hoping that we don't get, because the budget is not there, we don't get, the power of a Green Lantern, downplayed too much, making it, mundane when it's not,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we've got 3 Green Lanterns now. We've got Guy Gardner,
Nathan
Fillion. We've got Hal Jordan, Kyle Chandler, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've got John Stewart and Aaron
Pierce, I think. Yeah.
Pierce, yeah. So, all good actors.
Oh, yeah. And hopefully Kyle Rayner's not far behind.
Yeah. There's still more Lanterns to come, I hope.
Yes.
Well, and that's, we criticize the Thorn Run, and I think rightly so for a lot of reasons. But the first 2 issues of that, I thought, started off really well. And one of the things is he established, these crux worlds. And, Earth is the world of heroes, which is why there are so many. It's another reason why there are so many Green Lanterns from Earth, which I thought was kind of a really good explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Which means we should get some more, I hope.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, hopefully it does good. Again, and since this is a show, hopefully we'll get more extra other seasons.
Yep. And, it's all one universe, so we should get tie-ins to whatever this ongoing story for the movies, is going to be. I don't know.
Yes.
But I'm hopeful. I think it's going to be good. It's just, we've been waiting for it for a while now. 2011. Sorry.
No, is that long?
Yeah, it's not long at all. It's only 13 years. 14 years. What's that?
Exactly.
All right, now, Civil Corps stuff. You were going to
Green Lantern Civil Corps. That's right. Yes. Well, basically, this starts bringing the lanterns together because it opens up with John Stewart and his quote unquote sister. And he says he's not going to use that Dark Star ring, but he's keeping it on his hand so no one else can use that Dark Star ring. So
seems
foreshadowing.
Yeah, it seems also a little. Hey, you're going to be thrown into situations where you're going to need or people are going to be coming after you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe don't wear it into combat. I mean, I don't know. It just seems like a bad idea.
Exactly. And all right, spoilers, kids. Yeah, they get attacked by Yellow Lantern Kilowog.
I saw that in the preview online. That looked really cool.
Yep, and guess what he does? He takes that ring, takes that Dark Stars ring, and disappears with it. So,
huh? Okay, cool. Maybe I wasn't too far off in that, right?
Exactly. But then, yeah, he gets knocked out by Kilowog when he wakes up. He's been found by Hal, Guy, and Carol. So,
okay, cool.
We're all linking up here. Then they're going to recharge, and they're going to go confront who's that? Thal or Thrall? You know, the head of the United. Yeah. Then we get the they need a distraction because on Oa the Unseeing get a little visit by Alan Scott. So now we have Alan Scott in here.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so we're bringing in a lot here. They all the rest of them confront or evil ruler here, and then
you said that there's another spoiler. Let's avoid the other spoiler.
That's the very last. That's the very last page. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically we're fighting to take down the United Planets thing here, but then
well, John created the rainbow bubble. What?
Yeah, well, again, no mention of it. I don't know.
Okay, that's weird.
So again, we're getting the Menace stuff from the regular Green Lantern book, and then we're getting stuff from John's book. So
okay,
yeah, we're kind of like merging everything that's happened in the two books and coming to a point. Let's just say stuff is very much left hanging here. Oh yes, continues in Green Lantern 16, which I believe comes out this week. Yes,
awesome, very cool.
Yes, yeah, it ends with no, it can't. And John going, no, it can't be. And I won't show you the last page, but
okay.
Yeah.
A good spoiler.
You're in for a big shock. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, no, that was good. Again, of course. Of course, it was written by Jeremy Adams and Philip Kennedy Johnson. So
who? Sorry, who was it written by, Phil?
Oh, Philip Kennedy Johnson and friend of the show.
This is Jeremy Adams, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
That's right. Thank you. I forgot to throw that in at the beginning. All right. So, you know what? In false advertising, then on the front they had a Red Lantern Sinestro. He's not in this.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you that spoiler. He's not in the book. Oh, and Joe and Jessica are in the front. They're not in the book.
Okay. Simon?
Nope. No Simon. No Kyle. No.
Okay. Well, that's kind of. Yeah, I still feel like they've got. I still feel like there are plans for Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Especially after the 30th anniversary, the 0 hour 30th anniversary thing. So
I feel like the rest of them are going to pop up because, remember they're still kind of freedom fighting on Oa though. So it's better show. All right, so should we get some Red Lanterns?
Let's do it.
All right. All right, so just got the covers at the last moment here. Start with kids. This time we're starting with Red Lanterns number 5.
And just to preface a little, I was kind of underwhelmed with a mystery reveal.
Oh, about the whole Krona mystery?
Yes.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Although, I guess at least it's like it was a thread of Krona's own making, literally.
Yeah.
Not Krona, Atrocitus.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Pull up synopsis here. All right. Green Lanterns number 5 from March 2012. Krona Mania. Brother. All right. Writer Peter Milligan, penciler Diego Bernard and Ed Venice, inker Rob Hunter, colorist Nathan Eyring, letterer Dave Sharp, and editors Brian Cunningham and Darren Shawn. Furious at the apparent theft of Krona's corpse, Atrocitus immediately blames and attacks Bleez. She protests her complete disinterest in Krona's moldy old corpse, and as Atrocitus believes that they too are the only ones on Yzamalt capable of any plotting, it takes Bleez's suggestion that Krona may actually be alive to stop him in his tracks. Somewhere hidden within the mountainous shadows, an unseen and clearly unhealthy individual observes as Atrocitus and Bleez return to Krona's now unoccupied final resting place. Atrocitus struggles to come to terms with the possibility of Krona's resurrection. He is forced to admit to himself that a guardian of the universe may yet be capable of such a trick, and he orders Bleez to recover Zilius Socks, Scalox, and Ratchet from the Blood Ocean so that they may all search for Krona. Bleez challenges his order, causing Atrocitus to remember that he has concerns about her loyalties. Naturally, Atrocitus responds with brutal violence, and an embittered Bleez does as she is bid, but not before sharing with the Red Lantern Cat her prediction that she will only tolerate Atrocitus' abuse for so long. The first lantern that Bleez drags from the Blood Ocean is Ratchet. Flashback 2 years into an 82-year incarceration for socializing, the authorities amputated Ratchet's tendrils to deprive him of all touch. He is force-fed after 14 years and starts to hallucinate after 40 years. Finally, his rage mutates to a new level and earns the attention of a new Red Lantern ring, a new life. Racing around the barren wastelands of Yzamalt, Atrocitus is looking for signs of Krona. He soon discovers dragged footprints that could feasibly belong to the recently dead. Atrocitus is virtually exultant at the prospect of finally getting to enact his vengeance on Krona. But before he can exult at the prospect of finally getting to enact it, but before he can follow the tracks, he is attacked with a particularly smoky explosive that obscures the identity of his assailant. Convinced it is the undead Krona, Atrocitus enthusiastically hurls himself at his attacker before being promptly rendered unconscious. As Zilius Socks recovers on the ocean shore, Ratchet learns from Bleez of the Red Lantern's mission of vengeance for those who had been violated and wronged. He appears surprised that they get to be both judge and executioner, though the prospect is an attractive one to the aggressive Zilius Socks. Meanwhile, Scalox is still struggling under the ocean. Flashback, Scalox's erstwhile employer, the great criminal Lancer, threw him into a furnace alive without a second thought. The pain of the flames, however, was nothing compared to the anger and hatred that Scalox directed at himself for allowing his murder to occur, a rage worthy of a Red Lantern ring. Bleez drags an apocalyptic Scalox to the shore, and while Ratchet gathers from his muttering that Scalox was once a professional killer, Ratchet is disappointed that the Red Lantern rings appear indifferent to morality, while Zilius Socks has already grown tired of Ratchet's useless talk. Any further philosophical debate is cut short by the arrival of Atrocitus, who reminds them of the Red Lantern Oath and declares that they are going to hunt down Krona. He then quietly perceives that a new red ring is headed towards Earth. On Earth, as John Moore watches from his apartment doorway as his brother Raymond is being manhandled by 3 police into a car, John tries to convince himself that he's doing the best thing for his brother, but Raymond is shortly escalating the situation with his aggressive resistance. The police retaliate with brutal punishment, breaking his skull open with their batons. Throughout the beating, John discovers that he is impotent, unable to intervene, having spent a hard lifetime suppressing his own rage. Afterward, he mutely kneels beside his dead brother, recognizing his own cowardice that led them both to this point. He is overcome by a torrent of rage and self-loathing that heralds the arrival on his finger of a new Red Lantern ring. Jack Moore becomes a Red Lantern. Okay. Thoughts?
Yeah, so Atrocitus gets knocked out, but then he shows back up. So I'm a little bit, because the next issue, it seems to jump, and maybe I missed something, because at the beginning of, what is it, number 8, Bleez is suddenly in charge, or anyway, I'm a little bit confused by what's kind of going on, but I thought this was a good issue. I mean, and it answered the question about, hey, where are the red rings? Well, they're still going out and they're getting people, so okay.
Yeah, it seems like, all right, you know what hit me? Because, again, they did this with other New 52 stuff. Tell me what you think. Because, like, before New 52, didn't it seem like there weren't a ton of Red Lanterns, but, like, they just seemed like murderous rage machines. But now it almost seems like they're trying to almost redeem them to the level of at least anti-hero, where it's like, oh, yeah, they're going to go out and, like, they'll murder, but they're going to get justice for beings who've been, wronged or.
Well, yeah, and I think I think you're kind of right. But I also feel like, and I don't think Peter Milligan here is making that. I think, they have a good side and a bad side of the emotional spectrum. I disagree with that.
Yeah.
Because, fundamentally emotions are what they are. How you deal with them.
How you use them, yeah.
And how you use them, that's what's good or bad, right? So sometimes rage an appropriate response. Sometimes, fear sometimes keeps us alive,
Yeah. No, it just hit me because I just thought that was a New 52 thing because even Jason Todd, they kind of tried to clean up his image once New 52 started and stuff, and he was in a team book, so I'm just like, okay, I see what you're doing.
But, and the whole situation with Stormwatch just confused the heck out of me too. We'll get
me
to
too,
that, right?
because I didn't read the book at the time, so I don't.
It's like, wait, what? Yeah, and this is, I'm a Stormwatch Authority fan from way back, right? But this version, I have no clue.
Yeah, I'm not the most knowledgeable in that area. Yeah, so then, it just seemed like they threw in elements of those into this new book that they hadn't been publishing for a while, and then it's like, yeah, so they're Martian Manhunter in here, and
yeah, I don't know. It's anyway. We'll get there. We'll get there.
All right, next issue.
You bet.
All right, so Red Lanterns number 6. And again, these ones, there's a bunch of Red Lanterns, but these covers aren't as busy as the new Guardians ones. Yeah,
well, there's a lot of Red Lanterns on this, but they're really kind of backgrounded and not as in focus as the front one. And I'm still at, well, let's get into it. I'll ask questions as we go.
All right, Red Lanterns number 6, April 2012, All Too Human. Same writer, same pencilers, inker Rebecca Bachman, letterer Carlos M. Mangual, and editor Pat McCollum. So a little bit of some changes here. Mm-hmm. Wearing a Red Lantern ring for the first time with little idea of what is happening to him, Moore is in agony and cannot understand why he is still alive. Through flashbacks, it becomes apparent that he has spent much of his life controlling and repressing anger. The 3 nearby police that had killed his brother attract his attention, and Moore is able to control himself enough to attempt to warn them to stay away. He succeeds only in unintentionally emulating the closest to them. The remaining 2 attempt to put him down, but he barely notices them as he recognizes his brother's dead body, which appears to bring him into focus. As words from the Red Lantern oath echo in his thoughts, he menacingly turns back to the police to find that their backup has now arrived. With bullets ricocheting off his body, it occurs to Moore that he needs help to work out what is happening to him, and he finds himself flying away. On Yzamal, Bleez is once again taking a beating from Atrocitus for her disobedience, this time in front of the whole Red Lantern Corps. Atrocitus orders Scalox to lead a group in his hunt for Krona, but Bleez has other ideas as she reignites her brawl with Atrocitus. The other Lanterns enjoy the show as Bleez accuses Atrocitus of growing weaker without his nemesis Krona alive to fuel his rage. She openly challenges his leadership. Atrocitus looks set to kill her in response, but is stopped by Zilius Zox and Scalox. He realizes that many of the other Lanterns support Bleez over him and angrily begins to remind them all of what they owe him. However, the mere fact that he finds himself having to justify his actions causes him to pause. Bleez has permanently changed the political dynamics of the Red Lanterns. Jack Moore finds himself hurtling to the ground at the foot of his beloved grandfather's grave. An instinctual need has guided him here, and as he comes to terms with his conversion, he realizes that he is still capable of tears for his lost loved ones. His head spinning, he recalls his brother's intention to make Baxter pay for killing their grandfather, and his own refusal refusal to accept that path. This time he embraces the rage, and Jack rips his grandfather's tombstone straight out of the ground. Elsewhere in a police van heading out of town, a very frightened Baxter is in protective custody. Not far behind them, Moore feels the lantern rage kicking on to another level. He blames Baxter for the death of both his brother and his grandfather, his entire family, and smashes into the van. Ripping off a van door, he resists a taser and raises the tombstone above his head while Baxter pleads for his life. Suddenly, in a moment of clarity, all the fury and rage makes perfect sense to Moore, and he smashes the tombstone down on Baxter. However, instead of there being a very squashed petty criminal, we see a shield of green light, and protecting Baxter is Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. Guy insists on a little chat with Moore, so the voice of reason has arrived.
Yeah, he even comments on that during the next issue, which I thought was pretty good. I mean, we're getting a slow...
Yeah, we kind of slowed down on Yzamalt. Now we're really gotten into just John Moore at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a slow introduction of him over the last several issues.
Yeah, like you only get like 2 pages maybe or something in the issue, but yeah, and all of a sudden it's really taken off here.
Yep, and then Guy, having Guy show up, it's interesting because Hal's off planet, I think, based on.
He's running around with Sinestro, yeah.
Sinestro at this point, but Guy was out with John and all of that stuff. So I'm not sure why he's on Earth. Ultimately, it doesn't seem to really fit with what's going on in the Green Lantern Corps books. But hey, whatever, it's cool. Yeah. Guy shows up, it's fine.
Exactly. Well, unless he's just running back and forth, who knows? Because Kyle's busy keeping John Stewart from killing people.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and this is I still think Red Lantern's quality wise is up there, right?
Yes, yes,
it's a really good book. I thought it was interesting how we kind of got, we've got this slow introduction of Moore, whereas which is kind of getting us in his head on what his we've got a lot more fleshed out Red Lanterns, I think, now than we've had even when they were introduced in Rage of the Red Lanterns and throughout Blackest Night and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So I think this is good because we are getting more info about them as more of their pasts are revealed. So I think it's good. Plus we get to see how kind of Rage changes his perceptions and his thought process. I think it's really interesting.
Oh yeah, exactly. All right, next issue.
Fire away.
All right. Again, everyone wants to see Guy talk this one out. So
yeah, he tries, man. He tries.
I know. There we go. All right, so Red Lanterns number 7,
which is a great cover, by the way.
Oh yeah. From May 2012, Rebel Yell. All right. Writers Pete Milligan. Oh wow. Pencilers Ed Bennis and Diego Bernard. Inkers Rob Hunter, Mark Irwin, Sal Regla, and Dave Mikas. So 4 inkers.
Wow.
Nathan Eyring and Rod Reyes, colorists. Letterer Carlos M. Mangal, and editors Pat McCollum and Sean Makowitz. Deep in the backwaters of Sector 666 space, a ship containing refugee Sinestro Corps is hiding. Its occupants have witnessed the execution of much of their Corps at the hands of Sinestro, and all have chosen to remove their ring fingers rather than risk detection by removing the ring itself. There is some hopeful discussion of finding other Sinestro Corps survivors, but this is quickly undermined by the violent arrival of Bleez with a large handful of Red Lanterns. Bleez orders that some be kept alive for interrogation and declares a new age for the Red Lanterns, the Age of Bleez. On Earth, Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, is fending off furious attacks from newly converted Red Lantern Jack Moore. As their conflict throws them among heavy, fast-moving traffic, Moore cannot understand a word Guy is saying, owing to the angry red haze of his Red Lantern ring. While fending him off, Guy is trying to get through to Moore, recalling his own brush with being a Red Lantern. Some of it must be sinking in because Moore is enraged by the seemingly ridiculous talk of green, red, and blue lanterns. He lashes out at Guy before managing to stammer a request for help. Guy is so stunned by the event of a Red Lantern speaking coherent words to him that he almost lets himself get run over by a car. He is saved by Moore. The resulting pileup of car crashes, however, requires Guy's immediate help, and he is unable to pursue more when the Red Lantern takes off straight upwards. As Moore plummets through the empty vacuum of space, pulled by his own ring towards an unknown destination, he is in sufficient control of his intelligence to realize that no normal human being would survive his current actions. He concludes he must no longer be human. On a barren asteroid, Bleez is interrogating the recently captured Sinestro Corps. She learns of Sinestro's change of allegiance to the Green Lanterns, but refuses to believe it. Her personal grievances against the Sinestro Corps lead her to promise war against Sinestro and what remains of his Yellow Lanterns. Philo, the subject of her interrogation, mocks her for presuming to have deposed the greatly feared Atrocitus, a lantern that even Sinestro feared. Bleez napalms the insolent Yellow Lantern with black cinders. That's one way to do it, but not without acknowledging some truth to what he was saying. She then declaims to all her Red Lanterns that Atrocitus is now a shadow of what he once was, stuck in the past, scurrying around Yzamalt looking for the corpse of Krona. On Yzamalt, Atrocitus feels like he is closing in on Krona as he enters the Abominable Zone, a place where he conducted and buried his first failed experiments in creating the Red Lanterns. Atrocitus admits to himself that his power has waned with Krona's disappearance. When he detects nearby movement, Atrocitus expects the opportunity to slaughter Krona, but is shocked to come face to face with one of his monstrous early Red Lantern experiments, Abysmus, seemingly back from the dead and wearing Krona's skin. Abysmus has constructed a small army of fellow zombie lantern experiments as Bismorphs, and their agenda is clear: revenge on Atrocitus and the Red Lanterns. Atrocitus is ecstatic that Abysmus has chosen to wear Krona's skin. This serves to re-inspire his lantern rage as he starts ripping through the horde, heading straight for Abysmus. Just as Atrocitus gets his hands at Abysmus's throat, a new Red Lantern crash lands out of the sky. It is Jack Moore. Atrocitus demands that Jack explain his presence. Then Abysmus plunges a spear of rock through Atrocitus' chest. Within seconds of arriving, Jack Moore finds himself surrounded by a horde of angry Abysmorphs. So, in the middle of those petty family squabbles.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so yes, kids, the two plot lines have literally crashed into each other. So
I feel like Guy got taken out of the action a little too easily.
Yeah, but I mean, he was distracted. He was, helping in a sense.
Mm-hmm. I get it, but we get Jack on Yzamalt. We get Bleez. She does not like Yellow Lantern. She does not like Sinestro Corps at all. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, this was a good issue too. I mean, we're building up to something, and we're getting closer to that. What's going to happen here? And in issue 8, see, that was 7, right?
Yes.
Issue 8 has some things that I'm still trying to figure out around the book.
Yeah, maybe it's just the writing, but I guess it's just like, Atrocitus has lost all will to do anything except like find Krona's body. So the rest of them are just like, yeah, let's just head out, do our own thing, and
and then what happens to the central power battery, which is kind of interesting too, I think.
The new original take, a central battery getting taken out.
I don't know, man. That's just crazy. That never happens.
I know.
Oh, wait. I'm counting up the number of times that's happened.
Well, I'm trying to remember. I mean, when's the last time a central? I mean, was it the Cow era? I mean, and then because I know that like the green one's been attacked. All of them have been attacked, but has that even been taken down yet? Oh, the blue one. Is the blue one down now?
I think the blue one was just taken down in New Guardians, right?
I think. Yeah, I know it was under attack. Yeah, I think they.
Or was it moved? Did they move it? Or did it just get destroyed?
No, I think. Was it contained? Maybe I don't know. Was it? I don't know. So.
Yeah. Again.
I don't know. All right. Oh man. Oh, I was gonna say, did I close up the window? Hold on.
Any updates? Oh, sorry.
Good.
In Civli Corps, did we get to see any more of the Sorrow Lantern?
No.
Oh, okay.
But like I said, yeah, Green Lantern 16 comes out this week, so maybe we'll see some there. But yeah, no Sorrow update.
That bums me out.
Makes me sad. Okay.
Yeah, makes me sad.
All right. Ready for 8?
Well, let's go.
All right. All right. Green. Red Lanterns number 8, June 2012. Death on Yzmalt.
I love some of these cover things. You know, Bloodbath on Planet Rage.
That's metal.
That's pretty metal.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. All right. Yeah, I don't think there's a synopsis for this one. All right. Writer Peter Milligan, pencilers Andreas Ginaldo, Jorge Jimenez, inkers Mark Irwin and Jorge Jimenez, colors Nathan Eyring, letterer Carlos M. Mangle, and editors Pat McCullum and Sean Makowitz. Yeah, so for some reason, this is like the only one that doesn't have a synopsis. So.
Well, yeah, and it's the one that's a little bit confusing because it looks like
maybe that's why.
What was his name again?
Abysmus.
It looks like he corrupts the red central power battery.
Does something to it. Yeah, it's like, and then
Bleez and the rest of the Lanterns show up and think that Jack is the one that stabbed
Atrocitus. Yeah.
Atrocitus, and then they start fighting because that's what Reds do, right?
Exactly. But then Atrocitus gets up and is like, no.
Yeah. I mean, there's some really cool symbolism with, the ring, taking over, pumping your blood. It becomes your blood. Rage becomes your life at that point.
Replaces your heart. You don't even have a heart. Yeah, right. Yeah. But I do like when Jack tells Atrocitus, he's like, you're hurt. Don't get worked up. He's like, you tell Atrocitus not to get worked up. You're new here, aren't you?
Yes, he's definitely new. I mean, that's literally what Atrocitus does.
Exactly. So I guess Jack can kind of control this. Because he's had a lifetime of working on keeping his rage in check, I guess. I
don't know. I mean, that's interesting. Maybe, but I don't know. That was you saw She-Hulk, right?
Yes.
That was one of the things I loved about that is that, Bruce is trying to explain to her how to be the Hulk, and keep your rage under control. And she's like, I'm a woman. I've always had to keep my rage under control, which is why she's not, a raging monster like, he was. But yeah, I thought it was really good. And I think you make a really good point because he has controlled his rage for so long that that's the reason that he's able to function, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, then we see Bleez send Scalox on a mission, which again we'll see in Stormwatch number 9 here in a few minutes.
Exactly, yeah. Go find out where this new dude came from.
Yeah. And then we see Guy tracking down the guy who attacked Jack's grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
Questioning him. And then he's like, what if that red thing comes back? He's like, the police ain't gonna be able to stop it. You can't leave. And Guy's like, sorry, gotta go.
Yeah, gotta run. It's cool that it's Guy because I think that really sets up what happins later in the run really, really well.
I think it's around issue 20 or 21, I think, when Guy becomes a part of this book. Yeah. We see Jack ring up this big monster thing and basically fighting with the other Red Lanterns. And Atrocitus, still bleeding from the chest, gets to the central battery and then sees that Abysmus is trashed it because it's all
it's
broken and because next it's saying the death of the Red Lantern Corps.
Oh.
So, all right. So what you think of this one? I mean, like you said, it's a little
confusing. How he's corrupted.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I mean, and maybe that's maybe that's something that Milligan is saying. Is that hey, when you're enraged, a lot of things don't make sense. I don't know. I mean,
either that or maybe it's just because it is such a I don't know, an I don't want to say uncontrollable, but unbalanced. Rage can easily go wrong for you, so it might be easier to sabotage that battery than say a green one or a blue one.
Maybe, but also there's a lot of mysticism around the blood magic and everything. So him like jerking out his own rib and then touching it to the I don't understand what that did, but apparently it's bad. So there we go.
Yeah, like you said, the whole Bleez thing. It's like where were they going? It's like, well, what was that?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a little confusing, but hey,
Although I'm trying to remember, when did she show back up in New Guardians? So is she on her way back to New Guardians, or?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean,
you think you would have had a editor's note for that? Yeah.
Come on, New 52. Come on.
I mean, they had one for Stormwatch, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I still think this is still really, kind of the close to the best of the Lantern books. I think New Guardians started off pretty strong. Green Lantern Corps, it's got the characters we love in it, but they're awful murdery now, right? And and with the main Green Lantern book, I don't know. I was a little bit disappointed in that Revenge of Black Hand arc, with the with the Indigo Tribe. So I still think this is probably the best of the Lantern books, at this time. Green Lantern. I'm sure Green Lantern will pick back up. I'm not, I don't think, but.
Well, again, big things are going to be happening here soon in the Green Lantern book. I mean, Simon's first appearance and.
Yep. And Wrath of the First Lantern and the end of Jeff Johns' run on the series or on the all-encompassing, Green Lantern books. So, yeah. But yeah, I still think this holds up really, really well. And, it has the necessary bloodshed for New 52, but it's not the point. It's more just kind of an after.
Yeah.
It's part of why we're here. I mean, Red Lanterns are about rage and murder and yeah.
I think you helped me narrow it down because I was like, there was something bugging me, but I think it's like, New 52 is trying to paint them as like anti-heroes, but they're still a little too murdery. Wonder if that's why Guy comes in later. Kind of, it's like, we're kind of gonna.
And I think you're right. I think that they're kind of addressing that because they're making them less rabid animals.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Giving them some intelligence so that they can make. I mean, they're still going to choose to murder people, right? But now we at least see some, thought processes there, and perhaps get some reasoning, as to why they're doing it.
Exactly. All right, ready to get to this?
I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Does Scallops actually speak in the Stormwatch issue? I can't remember. I don't remember dialogue by him, but I could be wrong. Did he in the fight with Apollo? Maybe.
Trying to see. I don't. Well, Apollo hits him and goes, but he's making noises, but he's not like. A little bit. I mean, when he hits Midnighter, he says, "Now you'll die."
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, a little bit. It's not a ton of dialogue, but I mean, he's throwing around some sounds and says a sentence or two, but nothing major.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, this book was different.
And again, like I said, I wasn't sure if it's just because I hadn't read Stormwatch in the New 52, so.
No, I mean, I've read. It was part of my dissertation, so I really focused on the Warren Ellis run of Stormwatch, and then Stormwatch Volume 2, which led into the Authority. So I read and studied all of those, and this just didn't really feel like those characters to me. But hey, it's New 52. It's not those characters, or maybe it is. I don't know. It's uncertain.
A version, yes. All right, let's get this Stormwatch. Stormwatch number 9.
Here we go.
All right, Stormwatch number 9. Oh, there we go. Stormwatch number 9 from Volume 3, number 9 from July 2012. The Da Vinci Coda.
Yeah.
Writer Peter Milligan. Boy, I wonder when these books crossed over. Yeah. Penciler Miguel Sepulveda. Inker Miguel Spadolva. Penciler and inker, same person. Colors Alex Sinclair and Pete Pantazis, and letter Rob Lee, editor Pat McCullum. Midnighter is in the training room questioning his decision to join Stormwatch when the engineer calls him and Apollo for a mission. Meanwhile, Jack Hawksmoor, Jenny Quantum, and Martian Manhunter are in Rome dealing with a superpowered person. Jenny quickly subdues him, and the team prepares to return to base. Back in the United Kingdom, Apollo and Midnighter intercept a Red Lantern named Scalox, who enters Earth's atmosphere. Apollo questions why he came to Earth, but Scalox simply attacks without answering. He burns Apollo's eyes, and Apollo heads up into the sky to regenerate with the sun's rays. Midnighter takes on the creature and ends up cutting off his arm. This separates Scalox from his red ring and allows it to be defeated. They take it back to the Eye of the Storm to study. The others arrive back from Rome with their captive, who identifies himself as Piero Rosso, who calls himself the Vitruvian.
Yep.
Yeah, he claims he is from an incarnation of Stormwatch from the past, and that the Shadow Cabinet killed his lover, and he's mourned her loss ever since. Talking about his plight causes his powers to manifest again, and the destructive energy starts tearing the room apart. It also causes Scalox's ring to get free from containment. The ring detects Piero's rage and seeks him out as its new wielder, but Midnighter breaks Piero's neck so the ring won't take him. The ring then turns its attention to Midnighter, but the engineer contains it before it can do anything. With the threat contained, the team celebrates, but Midnighter heads off by himself, still questioning whether or not he should stay with Stormwatch. So yes, this, maybe it's just me, but I thought this issue summed up the New 52 very nicely. Yeah, we won by snapping someone's neck.
Good point.
Yay.
Did you see the last bit of his workout at the end of the issue? Who showed up in the holograms?
Oh wait, who was it? Oh, was it Batman?
Yep.
Yes. Oh yeah, I noticed that. I was like, wait a minute, is this gonna be a plot point or something?
Batman.
Yeah.
My favorite character.
Now, one of my favorite books was the Planetary Batman Night on Earth crossover, which is just awesome. It really is good. A great art by the recently passed John Cassidy, and it's just it's a really well done book. I mean, there's lots of comedy. You have the Englehart 70s version Batman show up. You have the Dark Knight Batman show up. You have the 60s TV show Batman show up.
Nice.
It's a great read. But this issue didn't work for me very well because it was just it felt unfocused.
Yeah, do you think it's like they had a regular story set, but it's like, yeah, let's guest star a Red Lantern because Pete Milligan's writing that book too?
I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest. Milligan usually, I think, does a better job. Maybe this one was last. I don't know. But this just doesn't feel like his normal level of work to me. You know.
Yeah.
And we got Martian Manhunter in here, and all that did was remind me that he and Guy Gardner don't know each other, which just annoyed me for some reason.
Yeah.
You know.
I know. It bugs me too.
But yeah, I don't know. So explain to me this. They cut his arm off, and he didn't die immediately because the ring wasn't supplying the energy.
I mean, I don't know how long I guess they could survive without it, because they said the only thing once they put him in that tube, the ship or whatever is keeping him alive.
Okay, that was my question. Yeah, how was he being kept alive? Because they got the ring off of his finger.
Yeah, I think once they had him in that tube, they said that was the only thing keeping him alive. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's, I think, and I could be wrong here. This is all supposition. I don't know anything, but my guess is that maybe Stormwatch needed a boost because I think Red Lanterns was probably doing pretty well as part of a Green Lantern family of books, right? That would be my guess is why the crossover happened. But again, I don't know anything. It's just me guessing.
And again, two books by the same writer. If one's doing better than the other, it'd be like, okay, let's have
let's have a crossover.
Little mini crossover here, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. But I mean, the 8 issues of Red Lanterns that we've had, I think the pacing is really slow and deliberate. I feel like it's definitely not fast, but it feels like it's telling a story that's leading to something. So I think it's really, I've enjoyed it so far. Having not read these when they came out.
Oh, hey, we did get feedback again, so would you like to hear some feedback?
You bet.
All right. Tyler Ferguson wrote us again on these issues. First, he says, scratch what he said last time regarding the red rings in his previous email. Atrocitus wasn't aware of how far his Lantern's rebellion would go, his own power being nerfed, so the choice to keep the rings from recruiting wouldn't add up. Ratchet's ponderous personality leads to neat interaction with Zilius and Scalox's more direct nature. Long live the age of Bleez.
Yeah.
Yes. Jack's repression of his rage throughout his life likely had influence over his ability to retain his mind and make constructs, unable to funnel it instead of being lost in the waves. Good that Guy reached out to him. There's definitely a tone shift in the dialogue between issues 7 and 8. Oh, joy. Another battery's been wrecked. At least the infection method provided by Abysmus is more interesting than standard explosion. Justification for Bleez to send Scalox to Earth feels tenuous. If she wants to know why Rancor happened, ask after tossing him in the lake. Was surprised to see Martian Manhunter in Stormwatch 9 since in New 52. He apparently read about Justice League of America and Justice League United. Yeah. Sucks that happened to Vitruvian Man, but at least the Sun Moon couple was okay. Final note: do you think the upcoming 4-way story between the Lantern books was decided upon due to editorial mandate? Suspect this because of Green Lantern previous stellar sales. Even if they weren't as affected by the reboot, it feels unusual to do this only 1 year into the New 52's continuity. Hope you're having a good day.
So I guess we're talking about the upcoming crossover.
Yeah, it goes through all 4 books. I mean, those are usually dictated by sales.
I think so. Yeah, that would be my guess. And it is a family of books. So, but
especially if 1 or 2 books are doing way better than another book or 2, yeah, they're gonna.
Well, and with Jeff Johns being on the main Green Lantern book, with the big storylines he's got coming up, there's no way that the whole family's not going to be involved in that, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But that was a good call on the battery. We mentioned that too. Yeah. I'm so tired of batteries getting destroyed. Come on.
Exactly.
You know what? Owen, you would think Owen Tech, if it would last billions of years, might be a little more, well built, impervious even at times.
Although I'm trying to think if they gave us an origin of that Red Lantern. Did Atrocitus kind of steal that technology? So,
well, it was, blood magic, and it kind of rose up out of the blood lake on his malt.
So it might not have all the safeguards a regular battery does, and again...
Well, but, according to Ganthet, it's all built on Owen Tech, right? Because the rings, remember from Blackest Night, and, we got a big Black Lantern battery as well, for Necron and Black Hand. So, I don't know.
I'm just thinking he didn't do the last update.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably does need to patch a few things, so there you go.
All right, anything else on these, William?
Nope, I'm good, sir. Thanks for the feedback, Tyler.
Yes, thank you, Tyler. All right, next time, yes, we're going to do one more Red Lanterns episode, Red Lanterns 9 through 12 and issue 0. And then we're going to get back to the regular Green Lantern book in 2 weeks.
Who's in that?
Hey, my drop, boy. Yeah, who's in that book?
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
Oh, okay, that's who's in there. Good.
Exactly.
That.
Well, I should have just said Simon Bass. All right.
I know. I was setting you up for that.
I should have. Red Lantern number 0, Annual number 1, and Green Lantern 13 and 14. So, and then we'll get back to the core, Green Lantern core 13 through 15. Then we'll get to New Guardian. Oh, so see. So after next week, we're kind of gonna flip pretty quickly between the 4 books. So
because they're a lot more intertwined, right?
I guess, yeah. Pretty much be that way until episode 200 and 201 when we do a 2-part Millennium special.
Millennium.
And then, of course, the last week of the year, we're going to do the Larfleeze Christmas special.
We'll have to make those cookies.
Oh, yeah. right, so got lots of good stuff coming here, kids. And again, it's New 52. We're still going in order. So, and again, you can send us thoughts on these issues. We'll read them next time. Email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Get your brand new Capes and Lunatics merch or classic Capes and Lunatics merch. And also remember, deadlier than any Red Lantern. Love Hellfire demands that you rain random money on us through the Cash App link. So please do that.
Make it rain.
Yes, to make us dance on that metaphorical pole. Because last thing we need is some red ring come looking for us.
She looks like she was just working a stripper pole down at Divas.
And of course, the Patreon, where again, Lilith and I give you something new, something exclusive, completely uncensored every month. And again, if you're a patron, you can request topics for us to discuss, like our good friend Justin has. All right, so you can find everything you can find the Patreon at patreon.com/CapesandLunatics, and you can find everything at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right. Sounds like a promo for Red Lanterns. All right, kids. So now, get this Will Allred, master of the Green Lantern Corps, master of the Quantum Zone, master of podcasting, and master of several successful Kickstarter campaigns, Mr. Will Allred.
Well, you can
graphic up here.
Yep, you can find me at Walred. That's at WALLRED. That Gmail and Blue Sky and Facebook and Twitter and all of those places. If you'd like to find the comics that I write, you can do that. Crossover Division is at crossoverdivision.com. We'll be launching issue 6 soon, I hope. Sometime this month, I hope. We'll see how that goes. But again, you can check that out at crossoverdivision.com. And then you can also check out Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. And finally, you obviously have great taste because you're here hanging with Phil and I talking about Green Lantern, which means you probably love Marvel's Quasar nearly as much as we do. So if you'd like to find out more about Quasar, you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org.
Seems like I'm getting a package every other day.
I am God.
Hey, boys, you look at the party? I love the party.
I hope it's going somewhere nice.
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
All right, kids, remember 2 weeks.
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
Nice.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us again in 1 week. Red Lanterns 9 through 12 in number 0. And then we'll be back to the regular Green Lantern book. And the first appearance of a new Lantern. A new Earth Lantern.
That's right.
It's been a while. I was going to say, I'm trying to remember the first time Cal appeared on this podcast, man. It's been a while.
That's been a while. Early into the show, because I mean we jumped in. Yeah.
All right, kids, come back next time, and remember,